I'm at my English room now, preparing the materials for second semester of our English class here in Japan. I cannot tell you the name of the school because of the privacy rule here in Japan, but I can show you what I'm doing the whole day. So for those who are aspiring to be an ALT here in Japan, I hope this live video will give you a glance or an idea on what's life of an English teacher here in Japan. So I'm making my schedule and the speech for my grades 3 and 4 students. So some of you are asking how to apply for an ALT job here in Japan, or the assistant language teacher. We call it an assistant language teacher, or ALT, because originally the job of an assistant language teacher, these are teachers coming from different English-speaking countries, America, Europe, or the Philippines, because the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, or the MEXT of Japan really wants to uplift the level of English communication in Japanese. So like 10 years ago, they started the English education to be more rigid here in Japan. So this is my 15th year as an assistant language teacher, but it depends upon the prefecture. Some BOE will assign you to be a T1 or teacher 1, wherein you are the main teacher inside the classroom. But as defined in some dispatch companies, an assistant language teacher is someone who will give the native level of pronunciation of each of the target language or the target English words. You are going to assist the English teachers or the homeroom teachers. They are Japanese licensed teacher, will be explaining the grammar points of the lesson, and then there will be some English selections or reading selections that he or she will assign the foreign teacher, just like me, ALT per se, to do the reading and to give chance to the students to listen and be able to comprehend how to communicate with foreign teacher. But in most cases, where I have been in different board of educations already on my 15 years of teaching here in Japan, most of the schools will let you be the teacher 1, and the homeroom teacher will just stay at the back because they are obliged to do the disciplinary action if some students will not pay attention. So if you want to teach here in Japan, please subscribe my channel because I'll be uploading from time to time the do's and don'ts of an English teacher. You have to be sensitive to the culture of Japanese students. It's not like in our country, if you are very good in English or in the teaching of English, you'll be one of the best teachers, but not here in Japan. It's only like 10% of the criteria. If you are very good in English, only 10% of your ability in speaking English will be counted. So most of it, like 50%, is your ability to be able to dance with the music, as we can say, or to be sensitive to the needs of the school, to the needs of the Japanese teachers, because most of them are very busy, so you have to be able to analyze the proper timing to communicate with them. And the students, sometimes before your English class, they have been doing some physical education classes, so they will go to your classroom. They are so very tired, so you have to consider those aspects also that affects your plan. So as an English teacher here in Japan, you must have a lot of ideas stored at the back of your mind, because if your first idea or first plan will not work according to your plan, so you can change immediately the activity that will suit the situation. So because you have to consider the different types of learners. We have the visual learners, those learners who are learning fast. If you're going to show them some visual aids, pictures or videos, so they learn through visuals. So we call that visual learners. And we also have audio learners, from the word audio, listening. So you have to sing some songs, tell stories, because there are learners who love to learn by listening. Another type of learner is the kinesthetic learner. They hate like just listening or looking at pictures. They want to move around. And that type of learner is called kinesthetic learner. So one of the activities you can do is interview. So they're going to carry their worksheet or the workbook and go around and ask, for example, asking the name, what's your name? My name is blah, blah, blah. And then by listening, he or she will write as many names as he or she can. So the students will be moving around. So kinesthetic learners love that so much. And the last type of learner is, we call that the tactile learners. They love touching things. So in this case, you can let them do some cutouts. Example, they're going to cut alphabet and then put it in some drawing paper and then do the presentation afterwards. Or let them draw. You're going to tell some words, for example, draw an apple. So they will listen, and at the same time they're going to touch the pencil and draw the things you want them to draw. That is to test whether or not they understand what you're saying. So, or not just showing them pictures of an apple or fruits, but bringing like real objects, real fruits, and give it to them. Let them touch. This is an apple. The color is red. So in planning our lesson, you have to consider those types of learners. And for example, in your first plan, you have planned like you're going to have an interview game where students will be carrying the worksheet and ask questions like, what food do you like? What sports do you like? That's your plan A. But you didn't expect that the students are so tired because you are teaching the third period. First and second period, they did some exercises in the PE class. So if that happens, you can change your activity immediately. So make sure that in your classroom, you already have materials for plan A, materials for plan B, and materials for plan C, and so on. So I usually change my activities. It depends upon the mood of the students. So the point there is that you have to keep the lesson for 45 minutes as much as you can, make it more interesting on different type of situation. Very interesting to the needs of the students. So it is not very easy to be an ALT here in Japan, but if you understand the ingredients on how to be a good ALT, understanding the culture, understanding the do's and don'ts, understanding the privacy rule of the school, understanding each of your students, and you can be a successful ALT. So that's it. And some of you are asking, how can we apply for an ALT position? So first, you must be a graduate of any four-year course, preferably education course. If you are not yet in Japan, you are still living outside Japan, so you must have your degree, your diploma, your transfer of records, your passport, your international driver's license. Be prepared before you're going to apply online, because we have access online if you are living outside Japan. So let's talk about how to apply for the teaching job if you're outside Japan. So first, I recommend you to log in at the website. That's www.gaijinpat. Gaijinpat spells Gaijinpat. GAINPOT, gaijinpot.com. So that website caters different culture of Japan, how to live in Japan, and there is one button there that is work in Japan or jobs. So you can click that there. If it is your first time in the website, you are asked to register your resume. So there will be questions as to your past jobs, your educational attainment, your skills. So you have to fill those up. And after doing your resume, you're going to register it there. So you're going to have your account name and your password. So you are free to log in the website every time you want to apply for any job. So the purpose of registering your resume on that website is that you can apply any job after doing that if you're already a member of the website. So in my job here in Japan, I've been teaching in Tochigi-ken, and then I transferred in 2012 in near Tokyo. So I didn't apply personally in other companies. What I did is I used this website because I already registered my resume. So I used this website, I registered my resume, my teaching experiences, and then just one click you can apply in all the teaching jobs that is pop up in that ads. So there are daily advertisements of different dispatch companies. They need an ALT for a certain board of education for a certain city. So you can select whichever board of education or city you want to be employed in. So as what I've said, first step is to prepare all your documents, your diploma, making sure that you are a graduate of any degree course, but preferably education course. But if not, any 4-year course I think will do. And if you have master's degree, the better. In my case, when I applied in 2015, I already finished my my academic requirements, 36 units for Master of Arts in Education. And I have been a public school teacher, a licensed teacher in the Philippines for 11 years before coming to Japan. But if you have not that much experience, still you can apply as long as you are a graduate of any degree or bachelor's degree course. So step 2 is go to the website, again, www.gaijinpot.com, and register your resume. And after registering your resume, you can already click on different advertisements. So maybe, for example, there's an advertisement, assistant language teacher for September 2019, company, blah, blah, blah. So you can read, and then most of these companies are offering like 200,000 yen, that is like $2,000, or for peso, more or less 100,000 pesos per month, your monthly salary. So that's already much money compared to working in our country or in your country. So if you're interested on the job, just click apply for the job, and there will be instructions that will pop up. Just click, read and click, read and click. And do not just depend on one application. You can apply as many advertisements on that website as you want. So maybe click on 10 advertisements and wait for the reply of the recruiters. As of now, as I'm doing this video, my company is looking for 150 English teachers, ALT, for September. So if you want, just you can message me here on this comment, and I'm going to give you the instruction where to apply. So I talked to our recruiter, and she told me if I can help look for 150 ALTs, or assistant language teachers, to work in one of the board of educations here in Yokohama area. And so if you are watching this video and you are not yet in Japan, or if you are in Japan also, much better. That's much better if you're already living in Japan. So whether you live in Japan now or you are still outside Japan, as long as you have those qualifications, this 4-year course, much better if you have teaching experience in your own country, just message me your email address, your contact number, your full name, and I'm going to forward your message to our recruiter, and she can, evaluate your qualifications and message you if she finds your credentials qualified to teach here in Japan. Or it's much better if you're going to send me your resume, Joseph S. De Leon 2014 @gmail.com. You can send it there, and then I'm going to forward it to our company. And the rest will be on your own. Just tell them that you watch my video, and I made mention about the need of an English teacher for September. Okay, so more information about our company you will know when you send me an email sending your resume, right? So it's still my free time. I'll be having my class at 10:40, so it's still 9:15. I have enough time to prepare my materials. So I hope the first step will help you get a job, and then I'll be uploading more videos according to my experiences, because there are some things that you will not really know from any recruiting company or any expert teacher at that if they didn't experience to be an ALT. In my case, I have been working in like more than 8 board of educations, more than 25 schools, public schools here in Japan. So I have learned all those things by experience. There are so many things that was not written in any website that I have experienced, which I want to share in my channel because it will help you. Okay, so I hope you will subscribe this channel, and yeah, let me be of help to you how to survive as an assistant language teacher in Japan. So next time I'll be talking about how to get an apartment, what are the contact numbers, what are the websites that you can log in to help you get an apartment, how to live in Japan, how the garbage disposal, where to go to be able to save money, what are the best time to go shopping here in Japan, transportation, the culture, the do's and don'ts at school. There are so many things that you have to learn from my experience. All right, so I hope you will be successful in your application for teaching position. And the website I had mentioned, you can it's not only for English teachers, but also for engineers, waiters, or hotel attendants, any type of job. You can find it in that website, www.gaijunpa.com. Right now, I have to continue my job because I'll be having my grade 4 section 2 classes today. So we'll be talking about alphabet. So before the summer vacation, we already had our first level of their self-introduction speech, which is, my name is, I'm 9 years old, I am from city in Japan. I like the fruits, for example, I like mangoes. Then the sport, I like soccer. I like mangoes, soccer, spinach, Korean rice, and dogs. I want to eat curry rice. I want to go to the Philippines, or I want to go to America. Thank you. So that's their speech. We had a speech contest before summer, last July 2019. So this month, I want them to have the level 2 of their speech. This speech that we already learned before summer, plus another one, because according to the desired learning competencies and skills to be developed by grade 4 students given by the Board of Education, for September we have to teach them how to recite the alphabet. So I'll be teaching them phonics and alphabet. So they will just add the phonics and alphabets to their previous speech for us to be able to have another speech contest at the end of this semester. So they can add on the previous speech like, I can recite my alphabet, or I can recite the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So maybe you'll be asking, oh yeah, it's very easy, it's a lesson for kindergarten, not for Japan, because English in Japan just started recently. So in our country, alphabet is learned during maybe junior kindergarten. But here in Japan, we start the listening and speaking grades 3 and 4. They are not allowed to write yet. Legally, they are not allowed to write the alphabet. So they will just listen to the English teacher and memorize the alphabet, be able to recognize the alphabet. Comes grades 5 and 6, that's the time they will start writing, reading, the 4 skills, writing, reading, listening, and speaking. That's for grades 5 and 6, starting this year. Until last year, all the 6th graders in elementary, we only teach listening and speaking. But starting this year, we're trying to level up the education, the English education of elementary here in Japan. So the MEXT, or the Ministry of Education here in Japan, is coming up with a new law that starting next school year, grades 5 and 6 will have English as a subject already. So that's why we are on the preparation stage, because until this year, English is not yet a subject in elementary school in Japan. Still like a subject that they have to learn how to appreciate. So it is our duty to give them a very interesting experience during their English class, because we don't grade them yet. But comes next year, grades 5 and 6, we will be grading them. So they will have tests, they will have different activities, they will have homeworks as far as our English subject is concerned. So that's something new about our English education here in Japan. So more of my experiences to be shared on this channel will be made soon. So for now, I will stop talking. Just watch me doing my lessons and preparations for you to be able to see how I prepare my materials for my English class. Alright guys, thank you for watching. My students are coming now, so I'm not allowed to include them in the video. So until this afternoon, I'm going to talk about other issues in applying for an English teaching job here in Japan.